Hey guys, I haven't really made a video in a while, but basically what I have here is I've masked 5 of what I think are the best knives in production that I have access to. I'll start with one being the Spyderco Large, and the Spyderco Large is, I mean, it's pretty much the knife that all other even high-end customs, like you could pay $2,000 to not really get a better knife. Um, Advantages. It pretty much has the perfect blade profile. It's durable. It lasts forever. Some of the original 1990s era P series Spydercos are still kicking. Easy to use. Um, in a high stress situation, you want to thumb flick your knives, etc. But it's such a basic motor control. I mean, it's just you just get your thumb behind it and push it out slowly. Um, Hardware is superb. Everything's polished. Lockup is the standard by which all other knives are carried, and the crown is spiked. There's not really much I can say about the Spyderco that hasn't already been said. Its one downside, which makes it not the ultimate knife, is it constantly needs to be clean and lubricated. If you can hear, this isn't even dry. This is actually wet, and I've just been using it. I don't know if you can pick this up, but it's pretty gritty. You need to take it apart and clean it, basically. And that's the large Spyderco minus the no date, no Idaho, and the original CR, and this is the S30V1. That's a Spyderco 21. It's not the classic. Um, the next one I've really messed up is this guy, and it is the Reeve Memzon. So where the Spyderco lacks in speed, tactical use, self-defense, this really fills all of that. It's a fast deploying knife. Sorry, just there you go. It's a fast deploying knife. It's very slick. The pivot's actually horribly dirty, but you just keep it lubricated and no wiggle. It works in every handhold. And it has jimping similar to the Hinderer, so it's very big, chunky, but they're very rounded and beveled. So it's really a non-issue. It's a quiet knife, so you can't really hear it. It clicks, and the lock bar is very nice too. It just slides into place, and it's overall a very good knife. It's very smooth. It fits in the hand a lot better than I think the Spyderco fits, but the downside is the clip, and the downside's really all the fancy like RoboCop hardware, like this stuff. Plus you got the cross hatching. Plus, I'm not sure if you're a fan of that, but it's sort of like a Hinderer Spyderco if it was possible. So yeah, those are two Chris Reeve knives. You can either go the hardball route or the gentleman route. And then, of course, one of the classics is the big ol' Strider SMG. I don't. The reason this knife has a following is not because of the knife itself. The knife itself, I would honestly pass as having run-of-the-mill tolerances. It's no better than a Benchmade. It's not any better than a Spyderco in terms of fit and finish. The reason you get one of these is for utmost durability. I've never seen the lock fail on one of these once. I've never seen the pivot break. I've never seen the knife have a catastrophic failure. So that's the Spyderco and the SMG. It has a few technologies that are borrowed: Spyderco, Hinderer lock stop, Chris Reeve frame lock technology. The clip works. Downside is fit and finish. The lockup needs to be constantly tuned up by the shop depending on how much you use your knives. I usually have to send mine in about once every 6 months. So they turn it around in a week. So if you're a real knife aficionado, that's not a problem since you have multiples. But if this was a duty tool, you'd be forced to use it as is for a really long time until you had a lapse in your needs. Number 4, that is this guy. I don't really have a full size, but trust me, you do not need more than this, because if you check on the Strider, that's a big knife, right? Their cutting edge is actually exactly the same size because of that choil, and this also has a choil, but it's set more far back. So small knife, lots of cutting power. There actually are no downsides to this knife other than I feel that they're ugly personally, on the ugly side. If you can get past it though, this is the fastest folder that you can really get due to how smooth it is. See, the blade freely kind of rocks around, so it's slick, but the action's very smooth and there's no wiggle anyway. And ergonomically, this knife translates very well into being made large. There's a 4-inch version, a 3.5, and then this is the 3-inch version. But it translates very well into being a combat knife, tactical knife, tool knife, whatever. And in terms of durability, I think this one beats the Reeve, just because I've never heard of one of these going back for even a service. Reeve will need to go back for tuning, refinishing, but due to the stonewash nature of the finish, you have virtually an indestructible knife, both aesthetically and physically. And last but not least is, it's kind of weird that I group it in, but the Spyderco Military is probably hands down the best folder I've ever used. S30 CPM S30V technology means you have a really solid blade, thin tip, but I dare you to try to open a can with this, because I've done it with the Manix, and I've done it with this, and this always comes out on top. The Manix will have a rounded tip afterwards, but I've used this to open a can of olives with much ease. It can be used in a close grip, regular standard grip, and then you can even have the pinky out, and then this becomes sort of like a hand sword. In terms of speed, it's probably one of the faster ones. It's carried tip down, so when you reach up, it's already kind of in hand, so you can do a spider drop. But if you can't afford any of the other guys, and let's be honest, I'm not really well off either. I just have a lot of spare income due to my age, and it all sells back anyway. Go for the Spyderco Military or Paramilitary every time. I say that with, when I talk about higher-end knives, I mean that with absolutely no ego. I would be happy with one of these any day. Yep, and that's my conclusion, really. I just made a really cheesy video just because it's going to be rare that I ever get all these knives in one place. So that's that, and thanks for watching.